Hi, I'm here at the NEC in Birmingham for UK's Classic Car and Restoration Show, and I've come into the auction area to take a look at some Lotus engineered cars that are going under the hammer. Look out for my other videos from this auction, including Fast Forward Frenzy, 4-Up Ferraris and Hot Hatch Heroes. So whilst Lotus were successfully competing in Formula One and busy making their own cars, they were applying their engineering know-how to other manufacturers' cars. So here's a run through of cars in chronological order, either built by or engineered by Lotus, going through the sale. So I've been walking round and round this auction 2 or 3 times to try and find the cars I want to feature, and I've been looking for a 1970 Lotus Elan S3 Coupe, which is a barn find, needed full restoration, between £3,000 and £8,000. Can I find it? No. I've walked around several times, still can't find it. Asking the questions, turns out it's been regretfully withdrawn. So sadly, I can't feature that. So we have here, jumping forward nearly a decade, we have a 1979 Lotus Eclat, albeit one with a few visual modifications, including the winking pop-up headlamp. So it has a 2-litre Lotus engine, 160 brake horsepower, 5-speed manual gearbox. This one's been painted in championship gold. There's a few body parts from a turbo Esprit have been fitted, namely the bumpers, that front air dam, side skirts, and if we go to the back, fitted the whole rear panel and rear lights and bumper from a turbo Esprit. Doesn't really, I mean, it's been done well, doesn't really look quite right to me. The worst of it is the owner has spent about £11,000 or over £11,000 in recent years, but with the car guided at 8 to 10,000, will he get his money back? Not even close, but let's see. Up next, the DeLorean DMC-12. So obviously DMC-12 or DeLorean has a backstory that would fill a whole video, or maybe even a Hollywood trilogy. And it's produced almost entirely in left-hand drive form for the US market. It's built in Northern Ireland and was something of a failure really. Big story behind it, until it got its starring role in the Back to the Future films. So it's powered by 2.9 litre Peugeot Renault Volvo V6, giving out just 130 horsepower. So that's one of the big failings of this car, was that it was underpowered. But it is a looker, isn't it? And the gull wing doors, when they come up, attract attention, even from kids who've never seen any of the films. This one is a manual transmission. Most or many of them were automatics, and it's been sourced from the USA and prepped to UK specification by DeLorean specialist PJ Grady. So where were Lotus involved in this? Well, the whole backbone chassis is of Lotus design, and it was Lotus engineered underneath. And despite being a bit of a commercial failure and, as I said, underpowered, DeLoreans have more than doubled in value in recent years. I know this because I wanted one when they were about 30,000 or less. Now this one is guided 50 to 60,000 pounds. I've seen them go higher. Let's watch it go through. Being a Lotus Esprit owner, I'm on home turf with the next 2 lots, both Giugiaro era turbo Esprits, and only 4 years apart, but very different values. First up was this 1981 Essex Turbo Esprit. So it's in the livery of Essex Overseas Petroleum, who were the sponsors of the Lotus Formula One team at the time. There was 100 going to be made, but they made less than 25 for the UK in Essex livery. It's a dry-sumped 2.2 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Gives it about 210 brake horsepower, and obviously it's in this Essex blue with the red and silver decals, and if I can get to see them, these lovely split rim compromotive wheels. Now inside you get this sort of distinctive sort of blood red leather interior, and if it's got it, hopefully it has, the roof-mounted Panasonic stereo. If I can find it, there you go. This Panasonic stereo makes you feel like you're in a sort of aircraft cockpit or something. So the Essex Turbo is the most expensive of all the Esprit variants because they're both desirable and rare. This one is guided 90 to 110,000 pounds. Will it top it? Let's see. So another Turbo Esprit, and no less performant, but much more affordable than the Essex. This is a 1985 Turbo Esprit. It's one of a much larger production run of the model. Now this is listed as an S3 Turbo, but their S3 is a different car with a normally aspirated engine. But this has a wet sump turbocharged 2.2, also 210 brake horsepower. This is in dark blue metallic, previously known as Essex Blue. Has BBS alloys rather than the Compomotive split rims, and has body coloured bumpers and mirror caps. And I don't think we'll have the Panasonic stereo. No roof mounted stereo, and it's got that sort of cream interior. But nice looking car. And as I said, it's a similar looking car to the Essex Esprit. Doesn't have the decals and red interior, but it's very, very different in value. This one guided at 30 to 40,000 pounds. Possibly a bit low, but maybe that's acknowledging that it needs recommissioning. So let's find out what it sells for. Next up, one of the most sought after Lotus collaborations. It's the 1991 Vauxhall Lotus Carlton. This one, as you can see, it's in need of restoration, but it has quite an appealing provenance and a low mileage of under 21,000 miles. So they had a 3.6 litre twin turbocharged straight six, would give out 377 brake horsepower through a 6-speed manual. So all Lotus Carltons left the Hethel factory painted in a sort of dark green, an imperial green, and that's how most of them remained, unless of course you were the Sultan of Brunei, who ordered this one to be painted in silver to go with the other two Lotus Carltons that he had in his garage. So all the paperwork on its spec and provenance checks out. As you can see, it's a bit rough looking. Given the previous ownership and therefore potential future value, it's guided at 50 to 60,000 pounds. But let's see if it finds a willing restorer at that price. So finally, there are two Vauxhall VX220s in the sale, a car that was based on the Lotus Elise S2 chassis and built on the same production line at Hethel in Norfolk. So this particular one, it's 2002 VX220, it's a 2.2 litre naturally aspirated engine, 145 brake horsepower in Calypso red. This one's quite high mileage, about 118,000 miles. And here's the other one in the sale. This one is actually a 2005 VX220 Turbo, so it has a 2 litre turbocharged engine, 200 brake horsepower, and this one's pretty low mileage at only 12,000 miles. My apologies, I said there was only two, but I've just found a third one, but this is actually a VXR 220, so a sort of a race version of the, or race inspired version of the VX220. So this one is guided at 28 to 34,000 pounds. So also known as the Opel Speedster, the VX220 is rather overshadowed by the Lotus Elise, but there are many who regard it as superior. The Turbo guided at 18 to 20,000 pounds, and the non-turbo guided at 8 to 10,000 pounds. So let's watch them go across the block. So as the owner of a Lotus Esprit, I'm always keen to see how they perform at auction, and I have a bit of a soft spot for the often struggling Norfolk-based marque. Let me know in the comments which car touched by Lotus you'd like to own. Don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more classic car content. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.